to Free Zone, Matthias, aka Mr. 16 Bars. That's real hip hop.
We try to tell people that Philly is a special breed. They hate to see us on top, they hate to see us on. They hate to see us come up, they hate we on. They hate the moves that we make because it's made to break them. We give them knowledge on tracks and hope our words can save them. I guess it's hard to give props when you know you lesser. So we right on your heels, I hope you feel the pressure. Rappers faking a role, my shoes are...
Tutto scordiato, tutto
scordiamo, ti guardo, ti bacio, tutto scordiam, scordiam.
Welcome to this episode of Philly on the Rise. As you know, I'm your host, Michael W. Pleasant. The sights and sounds of husband and wife team, Tom and Stephanie, doing some amazing stuff. Welcome to Philly on the Rise.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for coming out and joining the show. You guys just put on an awesome mini performance there. I mean, it almost sounds as though you guys have been singing since you were born, singing opera.
Essentially.
Essentially. So I know you guys have been married for about 10 years or so. How did you actually meet?
Oh my gosh. So her roommate's mother was the principal at the school my mom taught at.
This is freshman year
of college.
Okay.
And I was told to go say hi to Aubrey, so I went up to the third floor of the dorm that we both were living in. And I said hi, poked my head in, and that's how it became. I became her piano accompanist as well as her roommate's accompanist. And
that was it. We discovered we were both music majors and we had a lot of the same classes and the same voice teacher.
Yeah.
That was it. So.
And the rest is history.
That's it, yeah.
So let's fast forward, if you will, to present day 2018. You're both traveling opera singers. You just got back from New York. What was that experience like?
Well, that was a fantastic experience. The performance was actually in Long Island. So rehearsals were in Manhattan area.
Yeah.
And it was a big eye-opener to see what level that I need to bring myself up to.
Okay.
And then I need to continue moving my way up.
And let's talk about that level you need to bring and you want to continue. How exactly do you do that? How do you get yourself ready for an opera performance and even take it to the next level?
So first what I do is I get the score, I crack it open, and I highlight everything. And then I translate it, do all the groundwork ahead of time. So learn the notes, learn the words, work on the diction of the words. Usually I'm singing in a different language other than English. And then I take it to what we call a vocal coach, who teaches me the style, what is appropriate, where to breathe, how to act it in a way.
Sure.
And then by that time I should be performance ready, or at least ready for rehearsal.
And we're talking about hours and hours of practice a day.
Yes.
Okay. Just in order to get ready for that one performance.
Yep.
Sometimes
two. Yeah.
Sometimes 2 hours per day.
Yeah.
That you have to put in. Okay. A lot of work, a lot of practice. Stephanie, you are also quite on the road a lot. Just got back in Phoenix, you're heading over to Denver.
Yes.
How do you find your work? Because you're based kind of locally here in Philly.
Correct.
But yet still you're national. So how do you find your work?
Well, I do a couple of things. I tend to do more concert work and oratorio performances, which is same as an opera in that it's classical music, but it's mostly me standing in front of an orchestra singing a major work like Handel's Messiah or something like that, or doing a concert with a piano. So a lot of the work that I just find myself because you don't do auditions for it. So I connect with a lot of conductors and a lot of people that run concert series and music venues and things like that, and just put my own schedule together, which is really nice because it gives me a lot of flexibility to travel when I want to travel.
Understood. So obviously the opera business is very, very busy. But how do you actually find time for yourselves in the midst of all of this traveling and schedule? Because you are yet still married. So there has to be a time when you find for each other. How do you fit that in?
Well, I mean, I think it's just as difficult for in like a regular relationship where you have a regular 9 to 5, both people are working 5 days a week and they have to take care of kids and all that, they're just as busy as we are. But we decided early on that whatever contracts we took had to benefit us.
As a team.
As a team.
As a unit.
And if it meant that I was going to be gone for 9 months doing something, and it was not going to be beneficial for us in our relationship, then I wouldn't take it.
Okay, all right, good stuff.
We also try to travel together whenever we can, and that's the nice thing about Tom doing mostly opera and me doing mostly concerts, is I can usually, if he has a longer run somewhere, I can go with him and then just fly out to wherever I need to. So when he was in New York for his show last week, I went with him, and then I just popped down to Phoenix to do what I had to do, and then met him back in New York.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Things work out very well from that perspective. You mentioned the word team, so obviously there's had to been a time when you guys have performed together.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us that story. What happened to that performance?
Well, it's kind of the performance that got us together, and it was a performance of Die Fledermaus back in college. And our characters had to kiss on stage. And so our stage director takes full responsibility for us getting together. It was shortly after that we actually ended up starting dating.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So kudos to the stage director, right? Where would we be if it wasn't for the stage director?
Yeah, there's actually another couple that was in the same show that also had to kiss that are now married as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
It was a pretty successful production.
So this is how it works? You just kind of, you meet, you kiss on, and then you get married.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to start singing opera, right? I don't know. I might have to start doing that. On set, interesting things happen.
Yes.
I know you have an amazing story of something about underwear and you
No,
were
gosh.
almost naked. Please indulge us.
So this most recent performance of Tosca, Puccini's Tosca, I play the role of Scarpia. He's the evil character who takes Cavaradossi and tortures him, and then tries to rape and Tosca, basically. Well, at the end of Act 2, when I felt like I've gotten her under my wing and I've given her permission to leave, but like she's now going to give herself to me, throughout the entire act, I've been taking off articles of clothing until the last point I'm in just my underwear and undershirt.
So this is a
And
strip
socks.
opera. This is what this is.
Well,
It's
this
not
is
strip
a very
poker, but
this was a
strip opera.
modern production.
A modern
Yeah.
Something.
Okay.
It's typically not this way. And when the director told me this, I was like, I'm gonna what? So I get down, I pick my pants off, and then I say my last final words, Tosca, finalmente mia, you're finally mine.
Yeah.
And she takes the knife and stabs me in the neck. And I have a blood packet in my hand, and I smash it, and I have blood everywhere. I die on top of this clear tarp.
Sure.
And then she wraps me in it,
Okay. Okay.
and finds this trap door and like pushes me into this trap door. Yeah.
So this is quite the production.
Yeah. So
This is quite the production.
she was in the audience, and she got to see it. From,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, how did you feel when you saw your husband on stage, just about, almost naked there? What was going through your mind?
It's always so funny for me to get to watch him play somebody so evil, because it couldn't be more opposite than what he's like in real life, which gives me a chuckle because nobody else knows him.
Yeah.
But he's such a fantastic actor that he comes out and it doesn't even look like him.
Ah.
And it's really exciting and fun to watch. And for this, there was so much stage business happening with the blood and the clothing, and this soprano who was fantastic, like dragging him across the stage.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, he's not easy to drag. He's like a sturdy guy, so props to her. It's always fun. It's
Yeah.
always a fun for me.
Very, very funny story. She mentioned how you're almost the opposite. You taken karate at some point in your life.
Judo.
Judo.
Yeah.
And you are a what belt?
I am a black belt.
Black belt
First degree.
in judo. Have you forgotten some of those moves, or you still?
Oh
got
no,
them?
it's still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood. Understood.
It's been a good probably 15 years since I've actually competed. I did it back in college as well, but I then transitioned into being a referee.
Okay.
But I haven't really touched it
All
in
right.
years.
Understood. Yeah. So let's talk about specialists, because you both have businesses that you own. You are a
A habit specialist.
happiness specialist, and you are a
High performance
high
specialist.
performance specialist.
Yes.
Let's start with the high performance. Exactly what do you do as a high performance specialist?
Yes, so this all came about, it's kind of a long story that now makes a lot of sense looking back on all the little pieces and how they fit together. This started when I graduated from graduate school and I tried to take my first steps into the world of classical singing and had no idea what I was doing and fell on my face and just saw that there was a pretty big gap between what I wanted to accomplish and what I was actually accomplishing. And that was largely because I just didn't have all of the professional skills and tools together. So even though I was a relatively organized person, I didn't know how to, organize all the projects that I was working on and keep track of my time and manage it well and communicate effectively and network properly and all these things that you have to be able to do so you can stay really focused on accomplishing the singing well. I was trying to do all these things and none of it fit together. So I found this great teacher who said, okay, wait a second, let me show you how to do this piece of it and let's give your technique a boost. So then you'll be able to do this really well and stay focused no matter what happens. So then I got obsessed with it and I fell in love with it. And when my singing started to take off, I discovered some ways that I could find my own strategy for teaching other people how to do this in their life and in their careers, even though it's outside of the arts. So now I work mostly with women and I help them discover how they can dig themselves out of patterns of being overwhelmed and stressed out and get back over to being focused and energized so they can start accomplishing their goals the way they want to and just enjoy their lives a whole lot more.
So give us one nugget. We just need a 10 to 15 second nugget. If I were a client and I come to you and I need help with performance, how do you help me stay focused? Because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in my life, but I need to be focused.
Yes.
10 to 15 seconds.
So the first thing we're going to do is figure out exactly how you work and how you process information the best. So no matter what comes up for you, no matter what tries to derail you, you know exactly how you work and how to get yourself back on track.
Good stuff, good stuff. Let's talk about Mr. Habit Specialist here. What exactly is a habit specialist?
So we all have habits that are either good or bad, or you like them or don't like them. I don't really like to use the word good or bad because it gets, so there's habits that serve you or not.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, they could either, what I like to do is take those habits and make sure that they're always good. Always going to serve you in a way. And there are certain tools I can take to kind of basically take those habits away.
Okay.
And out of my own experience, when I learned how to do these habit techniques, I used to be basically addicted to soda.
Okay.
Drinking soda, I would drink it all the time. There was one year where I said, for the year I'm not going to drink any soda, and it was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And by the time a year came around, I said, well, I'm going to have a soda now to celebrate.
Sure.
And right back down the rabbit hole I went again and just was downing soda. But after I did this 15-minute thing, I no longer have that craving.
Understood.
In that opera, I had to drink soda on stage.
Okay.
Right? And in the past, I would then go back home and start drinking soda.
Yeah.
No.
Not this time.
No.
Okay.
So it's things like that where I've actually realized that throughout my life. I grew up as a concert pianist when I was a kid. And then getting into opera, I was also in judo. I did wrestling in high school. I did all these things that required a lot of focus and a lot of habit making to make so that when I actually had to perform or compete, I wasn't thinking. I was reacting and doing.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Some of us fall into the habit of procrastination.
Yes.
Can you give us maybe 10 or 15 seconds? If I have that habit of procrastination, how can I overcome that?
First, ask yourself, why are you procrastinating? What are you avoiding? And is there a way that you can put it first?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to push yourself over the edge and do it.
Okay.
Also, it's not a bad thing if you're the person who waits the last minute. If that is how you do things, that's how you do things. If you're a person, though, that prefers to plan ahead, plan ahead.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, work the way you work.
Yeah, good stuff. Coming from the habit specialist, the high performance specialist, the husband and wife team of Tom and Stephanie, opera singers, based here in Philly, but nationally. You've been enjoying their sounds, you've been enjoying some of their wisdom. You see their contact information there on the screen, so please feel free to reach out to them for workshops or other performances you may need. Thanks for joining us for this segment of Philly on the Rise, and we'll see you soon.
That real hip hop.
Y'all know how we do.
You're listening to Philly Zone Matthias, aka Mr. 16 Bars. That real hip hop.
try to tell people that Philly is a special breed. They hate to see us on top, they hate to see us on, they hate to see us come up, they hate we on, they hate the moves that we make because it's made to break them. We give them knowledge on tracks and hope our words can save them. I guess it's hard to give props when you know you lesser, so we right on your heels, I hope you feel the pressure. Rappers faking a role, my shoes will never fit them. Before you come at a king, I let my soldiers get them. I'm from Philly with hot corners, they turn chilly. Tight shirts with tight jeans, they never feel me. Young boys confused, they think I'm too preachy. Full head in the game and still rep my city. I'm from Philly where hot corners, they turn chilly. Tight shirts with tight jeans, they never feel me.